y'all, how y'all doing? I hope all is well. I hope everything is going well, and if it's not, it's going to get better. Today I'm going to be doing a Loc influencer TED talk. This is going to be different, but it's going to be real raw and just things I've observed and things that I know that are facts upon facts. This is not a feelings-based thing. So let's get started. Get your popcorn because I really want y'all to be prepared. So you guys know, or if you don't know the history of me, I've been a loose natural content creator for almost 5 years. And then in January, on January 13th exactly, I made the switch to become a Loc influencer because that's what God was leading me to do. That's what he felt was best for my life. That was the path, and that still is the path that he wants me to be on, as well as, you know, I'm almost 8 months locked on the 13th. So I've been a Loc influencer for almost 8 months, like closer to a year. And, you know, as a loose natural hair YouTuber, I noticed a lot of people were making videos like, oh, I'm divesting from the natural hair community. You know, there were a lot of videos of everybody following suit. And then you saw that they were saying, well, the natural hair community, like with products, is only being pushed to people with certain hair structures where their hair was a lot looser, things like that. You know, it fed into with just texturism, which does exist. You know, we're not going to negate and remove the fact of that. But then, you know, I saw somebody else in their video, they were saying, you know, you have to be the representation you want to see. So I made a video, and it's on my YouTube channel, about why I'm not leaving the natural hair community, why I'm not going to stop doing this type of content. What happened was a lot of loose natural hair YouTubers decided to start doing lifestyle vlogs. A lot of them started businesses and things like that, just kind of to shift their perspective. I think it was about more than just, you know, what things were being tailored and pushed to them, feeling like they only can make but so much of the same content and things like that. I think for them it was more so, a lot of it had to do with just money, because a lot of them were talking about, you know, with AdSense and things like that, when you get monetized. So you saw this huge shift and everybody left and was doing lifestyle vlogs. Myself and a few other real solid people, we stayed because this is what we really wanted to do. It was a passion beyond us making money or things like that. So I was always still making loose natural hair content until January, you know, when the Lord laid it on my heart for me to lock my hair up. Now, I didn't know the shift that was about to happen for my life. I just knew I wanted to be obedient to what God was calling me to do. So I switched and became a Loc influencer. And upon me going on this journey of not just having my hair locked, but myself changing and my content changing and helping people in their Loc journeys, I saw this major shift of a lot more people over the years. They started locking their hair more. They wanted to know more about locks. Like, you'd be surprised, like, if you go into doing a lot of Loc content, how many people it would benefit, you know, if you start a channel or you're thinking about starting a channel. It was just a whole different vibe situation over here, because like when you're a loose natural content creator, like not all of them, Cecily's natural, I love her, she's one of my favorites. Naturally Akira, there's a few naturals, like I didn't get the vibe from them like that, you know, oh, it's a competition, and oh, I don't want you to win, and oh, I gotta get to the top with opportunities. You more so saw it with a lot of like a mainstream influencers. That was the vibe I got. It was almost like a clique, right? And so it just, I felt like even when I was doing like loose natural hair content, that was not what I was supposed to be doing. Like, that was not it. It was just like, it just always felt like something was missing. And then I became a Loc influencer and I built a community. Nobody is in there like being in competition and doing stuff. We root for each other, we cheer for each other. It's just a different type of vibe. But getting back to loose natural hair YouTubers, so, you know, they're all still doing lifestyle vlogs. So I'm one of the solid ones that still stayed, but I shifted my content to Loc content. And I explained when I did my original video of me finally starting my locks, just that shift and transition. I learned so much and taught people so much with loose natural hair, and those videos are there if you want to check those out and you have loose natural hair and you're watching this. But I felt like I could add so much more by just shifting. And that was whenever I feel like something's missing, I know that God wants me to shift and do something different. That's always him letting me know, like, hey, it's time to shift. So I, shifted to doing a lot of Loc content while everybody's doing these lifestyle vlogs. And, the next thing I know, my channel starts picking up traction. Like, it starts picking up people. And that was amazing. And I knew that was nothing but the move of God. I knew I was on the right track just because of how things were moving. But it was also, I met so many different people on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like, I don't know. Like, when I'm being a Loc influencer, I feel like everybody want everybody to win. And it's like when you're a loose natural hair YouTuber, it's like they all be like, I want all the opportunities, all the major opportunities. I want to be on top. I want to be the best. And there's not a sense of community. It never felt like that to me. I always felt like, almost like I went out and I was like, I got to go on a path that God wants me to go on because he wants me to create my own path. And so a lot of people, again, they were divesting from the natural hair community. They were like, lifestyle vlogs, I'm going to do this. It became a trend. Everybody was doing it. There's still a lot of people that do it. But then you notice that Locs really recently have been really picking up and taking the forefront, which as they should. And people are enjoying that and getting even better results with their hair locked versus being a loose natural, because they know now is less products, less shed hair, less trims, less maintenance. It is maintenance, but it's less. So many different things. And then it just also helps them within themselves. Like, and it's a lot cheaper than versus if I'm a loose natural hair YouTuber or I'm doing loose natural hair, I'm spending more money, or, with these brands, I got to push that stuff out. With being a Loc content creator, there are opportunities out there. People will come get at you, and there are opportunities. You can create content and it doesn't become repetitive, because I don't know how to explain it. You really see the difference in everyone's journeys versus people spitting stuff out to you and everybody sounds the same, like what you would see with loose natural hair. It's not no shade, no tea to being a loose natural hair YouTuber, but it's like that life for me was so repetitive and so like mundane, and it was like, all right, I gotta make more content. I'll talk to y'all about that in another video. And it's like, I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon of making lifestyle videos, because number one, I'm a private person, and then number two is just like that's not something I want to do. Like, that's not something of interest. Like, some of them, it might have really been an interest, but some of them, it is a trend for them to do the same as everybody else, to follow suit. So for me, in the process, being a Loc content creator, it's just had its many blessings. Like, the journey itself with watching my hair transition in the beginning was hard for me, and I wrote like a memoir pages like in my community portion of my channel. But as far as with being a loose natural hair YouTuber, like, you see it's a huge difference. Like, and I think a lot of it for people, like I said, had to do with money. Like, you saw that people weren't being as solid to you as they portrayed themselves to be on camera. It was like, all right, I got to where I need to be at. Like, now I can shift and do that. And so, yeah, we want to elevate and things like that. But if it's your calling and something you're supposed to do, with your calling, you're just going to have a shift within the calling. You're not going to come outside of your calling and go completely to something different. That's when God is calling you, and it also gives you joy. It gives you satisfaction, and it helps a lot of people. It serves God's people. That's when you're called to do that. If that is not your calling, you're going to see yourself hopping and shifting and jumping from thing to thing. And being on this journey, like, I'm almost 13 months locked, that taught me that. Like, all right, now it's just like, I see myself it was just dope that I could still stay in what I was doing, because hair has always been my passion. I've always had a heart for it, but it was so dope to be able to see that transform and be a metamorphosis of, I started out being a loose natural hair YouTuber, and now I'm a Loc content creator. Because for me, like, yes, we want to get monetized. We want to do so many things. Like, I'm halfway past the goal to getting towards being monetized. So I'm grateful to God for that. But it's also, I get a joy out of really being able to teach y'all things and tell y'all about things that can really help y'all, because locks hands down are the most single-handed way to really grow black hair without having to, unless you are doing craziness to your locks, without having to deal with excessive breakage, excessive shedding, trims, you know, losing hair. You are gaining hair, but you're losing hair at the same time when you're a loose natural, versus when you're locked, you don't go through that. You know, loose natural hair content creators can come and tell you like, oh, my lock routine is going to be simple, but it's like, no, the longer your hair is, it's going to take you a little longer to wash your hair, like, and to do your routine, because you want to make sure that you're thoroughly doing it and not rushing through. So a lock care routine is not the same as a loose natural hair care routine. They're not the same. If you can move at a quicker rate with your wash day, with being having locks in your hair, because it's not requiring as much as it does when you have loose natural hair from detangling and all that. You feel me? So, and I know that, and I show you, and I'm living proof. So if they tell y'all like, oh, well, I can do my, it's like, no, if they got a lot of hair, especially when their hair is long, no, like, that's not the case. That's just something that they're telling you. You know, your experience is going to be different from theirs as well. But it just feels like, you know, that shift happened. And now I'm going to get back to this point. You see a lot of those people that were like, oh, I'm doing lifestyle vlogs, I'm leaving, da 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 da. You're seeing them come back, and you know, they're, instead of them being gone for months at a time, you see them coming back and they're pushing out content, you know, because they see with lock creators, and this is not to create a divide, this is just observation of what I'm seeing. They see with lock creators, like, that's coming to the forefront. People are tuning more into that. You notice a lot of lock creators, like, they get subscribers pretty fast because everybody wants to lock their hair. Everybody wants to know about locks. You see a lot more people locking their hair, sticking with it. You even see people, and I'm happy about this too, that become lock content creators. They go from watching your content to actually becoming a creator. And the thing is with being a lock content creator, if somebody goes and they decide like, oh, I want to be a lock content creator, it's like, it's dope, because it's like, it's always room for everybody to eat. Whereas though with natural hair content creation, if they see you on a rise a little bit to getting closer to being monetized and things like that, and maybe you weren't somebody that was on a rise and you're not a huge natural hair YouTuber, that's a problem to them in a sense. And it's like, it shouldn't be like that. So I said that example not for it to be a divide, but to show y'all just the different things you see on the forefront. But you see them, a lot of them now are starting to become more consistent, whereas though they would leave this platform for months because they like, ain't nobody really checking. So it's just like with lock content creation, I'm just really happy that it's coming to the forefront for people to be able to know about and to see, and for people to start their journeys and even becoming lock content creators. Because, you know, when I started my lock content creation was really coming to the, it was already coming to the forefront, but it was really just, you saw it peak out and grow and bloom. And whereas though before you didn't, like years ago, you didn't see lock content creators like that. And I think it's just amazing because the negative stigma that locks get is like people do everything and run away from doing everything but locking their hair. And, you know, it's a preference, it's a choice for people. But that is honestly the best way to grow black hair. A loose natural hair YouTuber is going to tell you all day that the best way to grow hair is the methods that they're telling you about. But, you know, with anybody that has loose natural hair, especially if it's tightly coiled, tightly curled, we deal with breakage, we deal with thinning, we deal with shedding, we deal with all that type of stuff. Whereas though if you're doing, you know, your lock journey and you're locking your hair, your chances of that are decreased greatly. Sorry, I had to fix my robe. So I feel like within this sense, as locks have come to the forefront and you see more lock influencers, you're going to start seeing more natural hair YouTubers that kind of were taking breaks from this platform and you won't see them posting for months because they live in their life, la, la, la. And listen, ain't nobody mad at it. Go live your life. We only live one. I tell people, go live your life. Now they're going to see it to be of some value because they see that lock influencers are bringing that value back to natural hair in general. So now it makes them, I feel like in a sense, it gives them that push to want to be like, you know what, let me push some more of this type of content out. Because the thing is with lot with natural hair content, it can become repetitive if you're looking for somebody else to bounce ideas off of, or if you're just not creative. I've seen people create hairstyles and then it becomes a trend and it becomes like an overnight sensation. And so you just have to be creative and have those ideas. For me, I thank God that he was always the person that implanted those ideas in me, and I always stuck with this because that's how I knew it was a passion. When everybody else was giving up and doing lifestyle vlogs and you seeing, them showing off their houses and cars and everybody starting to look similar, I stuck with this because I'm just like, I know this is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. I don't care how much they feel like it's repetitive or they can't help a lot of people. Now, with loose natural hair, it's just funny because people will say, well, with loose natural hair, they feel like it's more versatility and stuff. And then you have YouTubers that say, well, it's only but so many wash and go videos I can make. Or it's only but so many braid out videos I can make. Whereas though with lock content, if you connected with God, you can make a wide array of content. Like right now, this TED Talk was not planned. It was just I had a conversation with God and he wanted me to do this TED Talk with y'all. So I'm saying all that not to create a divide. I just feel like with us being lock content creators, it helps to give push and oomph to those that used to do loose natural hair content to want to create again and want to come on a platform again because they see locks and lock content is coming to the forefront as it should. It's not being seen in this negative light anymore. You see people wanting to know more. You see more people now than ever. Everybody and their mom is locking their hair. And it's like my reel said, you never been to heaven, have you? It's a heaven on earth experience. And I just think it's beautiful that everybody is locking their hair. Like that's, this is just a raw, transparent thing. It's not to create separateness, is not to make anything be apart or different, because natural hair is natural hair. But when it comes to loose natural hair, I'm hoping that people that have loose natural hair see people with lock content creation and they keep pushing. Like I said, there's some solid people that are loose natural hair content creators, and they're just solid. Like they flipped their content to a different direction, but they're still solid with it. Like Natural 85, she was doing a lot of like loose natural hair content. She created her own line, and then she shifted even more to going to hair school and things like that. So you still saw hair from her. You didn't see her out here doing all crazy, doing lifestyle vlogs. She still stayed in it because she was in the heart of it. And so with subscribing to people, make sure you are subscribing to somebody's channel that, if you're really interested in hair, make sure that that's what you're subscribing to, and not that, it's like, all right, they doing hair and then they switch and they show you this lifestyle vlog of how you basically, like, from you and others supporting what they do. Make sure it's not that it's them just showing lifestyle vlogs after and they be like, all right, let's ditch the natural hair, because as the viewer what you came for. I'm keeping it a buck. They not gonna like that I'm saying it, but I'm being raw about that. Like, what you came to that person's channel for. You came there for natural hair. You came there to learn more about natural hair. So it's like, you got to go for what it is and watch channels that you're interested in. I believe that's why I don't even be sitting and watching like hair videos like that. But I know for like instance, Curly Proverbs is another solid person. Like she didn't follow that trend and be like, oh, I'm divesting. Like you see that woman going and still she makes her hair care line. Like when it's your passion, you're going to shift. So you're going to go from one thing but still be in the same passion. Yeah, she's making loose natural hair content and she has her brand and her company, and she's still teaching people about so many different things. So when it comes to hair, so if you're into hair and you're solely into that, make sure that that's what you're getting when you're watching, because I know for me, that's what I look into. Because if I start seeing that you was talking about hair and then you start doing vlogs, I won't continue to watch your stuff. Why won't I? Because I came there for hair, and it's like you shifted. There's nothing wrong again with them doing lifestyle vlogs and stuff, but it's like, I feel like it's good if you have a separate channel for that. Because if you feel like, oh, okay, I don't understand why I started off doing hair and then I switched to this thing and now my views be low on the new stuff, it's because you need to just make a separate channel so that you can draw on the people you want that are specifically interested in it. Because, I wouldn't never, if I'm doing stuff outside of hair, I'm not going to bring that onto hair. Like I did that. I had a clothing line for a little bit, and then I stopped doing that, and I realized like hair was the main focus. And I brought it on here, and I was just like, after a while, it just didn't make sense for me to bring it on here. Like, I don't have a line now, obviously, but it just didn't make sense for me to bring it on to here. And I was more passionate about the hair than I was the actual line. Like, things could have gone the way I wanted it to go, but I just feel like I needed more of a passion. And I feel like if you don't have a passion for something, that's when things can go south. So I just feel like pay attention and make sure people have a passion for what it is that you're tuning into them for. Because if they don't, you'll be able to see it over time. They'll go from switching to hair to lifestyle. And it's like this stuff should be separated so they can draw in the audience they want. So these are my real raw responses, y'all. This has been my TED Talk. I tried to keep it short because, number one, my battery is like closer to dying. And I just really wanted to talk to y'all and have this TED Talk. I hope it helps y'all. If you can relate to some of the things I'm saying, write that in my comments. And, you know, hopefully nobody misunderstood what I was saying, because y'all know people don't listen to understand. They just listen to hear. So some people will take it out of context. But, you know, hopefully you guys understand what it is that I'm saying. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.